All right, guys, listen up. So I'm going to be making a turbo guard for my 92 GMC Typhoon. I'm going to go ahead and show you right here what I'm talking about. My turbo is right down there. And if you can tell, I don't have any space at all to put a air filter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a turbo guard instead of spending, 50, 60 bucks for a turbo guard from the internet. I'm going to go ahead and use my old turbo right here. And then I went and got this file organizer from Goodwill. If you can tell, I only spent, let's see, $3.49 for this entire piece of metal right here. And this isn't something you can go buy at Home Depot. This is something that you hit a special order, spend a few dollars on, but you can see, you just go there, try to find like a wastebasket or one of these file organizers, $3.49. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my old turbo that I took out of my Typhoon, and I'm going to use it as a template, and I'm going to use an old rim cap from my last car, and I'm going to form it over this nice. You see how it's not completely tight? It's going to make a nice round edge, and that's how I'm going to start making the turbo guard. These turbo guards, they cost around 60, 80 bucks for something that you can see right now is going to cost me probably less than $8 in parts and about maybe half hour of work. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back. I'm going to go ahead and get this cut up. I'll be right back. All right, guys, so just really quick, I'm going to show you what I'm doing right here. I made a 6x6 cutout. I'm going to cut this out right here. I just want to make sure you guys know what I'm doing. I already kind of cut right here. I left this kind of attached. I'm going to cut right here with my Dremel, and then I'm going to take this out, and we're going to start forming it. Okay, so as you can see, I cut out a nice big piece right here out of this, and you can tell that I went really overboard on how big it was. I wanted to make sure I had enough clearance to go around at least 1 inch around the base so I can do my silicone uh, border and also have enough room for the clamp. Okay, so let's start forming it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my cap right here. And I'm going to put it over this, and I'm going to start hammering it down until I get a nice round edge. And then I'm going to cut it around with my tin snips, a good berth, and then I'm going to start hammering it on the side so I get a good edge. So let's see what we can do. Okay, so now that I'm about this far, I cut it out. I'm sort of molding it. You can kind of see the lip I'm making so far. I'm just going to go and start hammering it down and try to make it look a little nicer. Okay, so you can kind of see right now I'm in a nice kind of round edge. I can take this off. You can kind of see how it looks. It's kind of rough though on the edges, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start trimming it so it's nice and clean. And I'm going to put it back here, and then I'm going to cut some off this silicone boot, and then I'll go right around this, and then I'll have my turbo guard. Okay, let's try it out. All right, so I got my cap nicely rounded off and cut. What I did was I put it on here and I made it sideways, and I used my Dremel and I just cut around it. It's not going to go through this thick seal, so I just made a nice about half an inch margin. And then what I did was I took this old boot, and I took about an inch off the front here, and I just cut it with the X-Acto knife, and now I have this nice ring. And so what I did was I have the old ring clamp here, but once I put this over the um, guard here, the clamp does not fit anymore. It's just a little bit too big for it to catch the teeth here. So what I did was I had to go buy a new clamp here, this new hose clamp. For some reason, they go from this size to this size, but as you can see on the back, it goes to 2.5 inches. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten it down. I'm going to cut off the excess, and then I'm going to try it out on the old turbo, and then I'm going to put on the new turbo, and we'll see how it goes. All right, let's check it out. Okay, so this is the turbo. This is the modified turbo guard that we fabricated. I just put the lip on the outside just to show you that it's going to fit very nicely. It's very snug. This is the new clamp I bought. I just lopped off a little bit of the end just so it's not a big tail right here. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to clamp it down just on the outside so it catches all the metal that we cut off. But if you can tell, we did give ourselves a nice little berth here. It's going to clamp down on the metal nicely. And once we put it on, all the fitting has been tested, and this will be ready to go on the new turbo. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten it down really quick with my impact wrench, and then back it off, and then we're going to go ahead and slide this on the new turbo, and then we're going to see how it looks. Okay, everything looks really good. As you can see, I paid about $4 for this clamp. There's actually 2 clamps that came with it. And then from the receipt that you see up here, I paid $3.49 for that piece of metal that I cut. So total, I'm in about a little less than $9. Okay, so if you can see here, I get the flashlight so you can kind of see. I put the turbo guard on the new turbo. It fits like a glove because I used the old turbo as a uh, proxy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to face the tightening bolt facing up, and I'm going to go ahead and tighten it down. And let's go ahead and see how it feels.